There's a few reasons to why you might be wanting to swap your character. Maybe you're just not playing that well, or maybe someone's just being a butt and telling you to swap because they want to blame someone for their gameplay other than themselves. Well, don't worry, because by the end of this video, you'll understand when you should be swapping and when you should ignore players because they don't really know what they're talking about. So in this match, we're going to be playing Captain America. But I want to stress this 100 times over, the role does not matter and neither does the character. This video has nothing to do with this. This is background footage. Don't even pay attention to it. It doesn't matter. We're going to focus more on how do you know when you need to swap and the rule that I follow to know when's the best time to swap so I can start winning more games. If you are a one trick, it's perfectly okay. You're just going to struggle sometimes in certain games. So let's just say you one trick Black Panther and the enemy team has 2 flyers. Well, you're going to struggle. Not every character is good at everything, okay? So it's okay to one trick, just know you're gonna have, some struggles. But it doesn't matter, you don't need to swap multiple characters. If anybody tells you you need to do that to climb, it's not accurate. You can climb without swapping. Now, let me take you over to my whiteboard. Y'all know I be drawing on walls in this game, graffiti. So we have tank, right? Then we have DPS, then we have support. To understand when we need to swap, we need to understand the basics of each role. So when it comes to tank, what is the job of a tank? Well, it's pretty much to create space, right? You want to kind of back people up so that way your team can play around the area that you give them, right? If the tank does nothing, then the enemy team will just walk all over your teammates. So this is why the tank is there. It's to, all right, you better back up off my team. This is why when the tank KOs, the fight is usually over and you're going to probably lose that fight. So tank is important. The next role that we have is DPS. So pretty straightforward. What's the job of a DPS? It's just to do damage. That's pretty much all it is. So you make sure that you KO targets, more or less, right? When it comes to support, what is their role? What is their job? Well, their job is to enable the tank and the DPS, as well as themselves, to do the job. Right? If the tank is running out of HP, they can't do their job. If the DPS is running out of HP, they can't do their job, right? And if your support is running out of HP, they can't do their job. So this is why the supports are necessary. So everyone has a role to play. Then once you understand the basics of them, you will understand when you need to swap, whether it's a different character or a different role entirely. In this match, this game, there were 2 terrors on the enemy team. We had Spider-Man and we had Venom, right? That's a really hot combo right now. Spider-Man and Venom, especially in high ranks. These 2 will demolish a team. So my team was struggling and they were having issues and we lost round 1. I'm not gonna have you guys sit through all this just because it's unnecessary. As I said before, it doesn't matter. I'm playing Captain America still, right? So we go into round 2. I'm like, ooh, my team's getting clapped up, so I'm trying to adjust my play style, see what's going on, and thinking about, well, there's a problem, clearly. If you ever feel like you need to swap, you have to identify that there's a problem in the first place. If your team is doing fine, your team's doing fine. I identified that there was a problem. My backline kept KOing. And in my mind, for the first round, I was like, well, it's because I'm not doing my job right. I'm not taking enough space, right? That's what I thought. So I went in this game and was like, you know what? Let me take my space. Let me do my thing. And the same thing happened this exact round, right? So this is round 2. They're already up 1 round. Same thing happened. Dude, Venom's going ham. Spider-Man's going ham. Dude, these guys are just running amok on my team. And I'm like, dude, what is going on right now? And sometimes I even put in chat, I'll ask like, hey, why are you guys struggling? And usually they'll tell me. If you guys don't know, I do play solo. When I climb, I play solo. I don't use comms. I don't pre-made or squad up with people. I play by myself. So I try my best to identify the issue without people telling me what the issue is. So eventually, I'm like, bro, this ain't it. We're playing, I'm not doing any damage. I think I die here. Or do I just run back to base? No, I just run back to base because I identified the problem. I was like, okay, we need the thing. Why do we need the thing? Well, there's a couple of reasons, right? Again, it doesn't matter what role you're swapping to or what character you're swapping to. Identifying the issue is what you're trying to do. I need to figure out a way to help them. Is KOing Spider-Man going to solve the issue? No, because Venom's still gonna die. We also have Scarlet Witch, which she also dives, right? You also got healers. That, like, Spider-Man isn't the only issue. If he were, then that would be a different solution, right? I could switch to Scarlet Witch, maybe handle him, and we would win the game. I've done that before. This game in particular, it's not just Spider-Man. And you could even figure this out by pressing the tab button or opening up your menu, right? Whew, I'm 0-4. I did bad this game. Yo, I was getting clapped up. Anyway, you could look at it, right? Look, Magneto's 15-0, Spider-Man's 14-3, Scarlet Witch 15-0. Like, everybody's doing well on their team. Switching to Scarlet Witch isn't going to solve this issue. Okay, well, what if my backline, if we can keep my backline healed, maybe 3 healers will solve this issue. Okay, again, it's not just one target targeting one person. We can't out-sustain multiple targets at once. The other thing that we can do is alleviate some of the pressure. If we can remove Spider-Man and Venom from the equation, it's possible that my team can then play the game, because those are the real pains. You know, like I said, everybody else on their team is doing good, but they can't breathe if Spider-Man and Venom is down their throat. So the best thing to do is to play the Thing. In my mind, that's what I thought. Now, there are other games where I switch to DPS or I switch to healer, but this game, it wasn't one of those games. So I'm like, okay, my goal right now is going to be every single time I hear that thwip noise from Spider-Man, I am slamming that ground. So I'm looking for him right now. I'm punching, but I'm looking for him. I hear it, instantly turn around, make sure he can't leave, he's stuck. And players like this generally do not understand how to counter you. If you're gonna play Spider-Man, I'm gonna make sure you cannot get away every single time you come in. That means the Spider-Man and Venom has 2 options. Either you need to time your engages better, bait out my cooldown, or you need to swap to something else. When you do that, I'll have to play the game. So if you think about it, it's a game of tennis, right? Spider-Man served us the ball. He's like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? I was like, all right, I'll play the Thing. And I served it back to them. And if they can respond, then I have to respond. And that's kind of how that's how strategy games usually work. So I'm kind of waiting for the Spider-Man to, have a different idea. Venom 2, I'm waiting for them to swap or like, I'm watching him. He comes in again. He can't get away. It's impossible. It is impossible. So this entire charade, and again, I don't want to waste too much of your time. This entire charade happened this entire round, right? He kept coming in, Venom kept coming in, I kept slamming the ground every single time they came in. I would obviously hold the front line so Magneto can't walk forward, creating space at the same time. Then the exact same thing happened. I was like, okay, are you going to continue to play Spider-Man? No, he swapped. He swapped to Captain America. Now, the cool thing about this is that, their Venom also swapped to Atom, so a 3rd support. This is an issue that typically happens a lot. It doesn't matter the platform, it doesn't matter the rank. People default to 3 supports like that's gonna solve the problem. That's not gonna solve the problem. 3 supports work when it needs to work, otherwise it doesn't work. If we look at their comp, 3 supports isn't enough damage. Magneto is the only one that really does damage, and he has to be on point with it. Scarlet Witch does damage, but not to multi-targets. Adam Warlock does damage, but not to multi-targets, right? Like, these characters don't have a good team comp. And that is, again, something that I don't focus on because I am a solo queue player. I don't pre-mate, as I said before, and I don't talk on comms. I figure out how my team can do their job. It does not matter if the Thing fits in the comp with these guys. The reason why I don't care about that is because your teammates could be horrible. Seriously. You could say, I'm going to pick Venom for Spider-Man, and then Spider-Man could play horribly. You just wasted your comp pick for him. Don't do that. It's not going to help you climb. Play what's better for your team to achieve their goal. I know that my team couldn't play the game. All of us really couldn't play the game because of Spider-Man and Venom. The best solution was the Thing. So I played him. Now their team is like, well, we can't play the game because this guy's playing the Thing. What's the solution? It shouldn't be Captain America and it shouldn't be Adam Warlock. That's a no-no. It should be something else. It should be more of a long-range threat, maybe Namor or something like that. It should be those. It should not be those 2 picks. And this generally is what happens. Usually, if you counter what the enemy always does to win their games, they do not know how to play the game anymore. And you just auto-win. They don't know how to answer. They don't know how to respond. And this is why I always stress so much when I do reviews for like Iron Fist, Spider-Man, Black Panther, Storm. Like, these characters that are inherently difficult to deal with can get away with doing a lot and not having to focus on the basics, the fundamentals of the game. So when they get to certain ranks, and people like myself understand how to counter them, understand how to play against them, they crumble. They're like, oh, I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know what to do anymore. And they start swapping the characters they don't play, trying to figure things out. And this is exactly why you never really want to ignore understanding the fundamentals. Now, I have a lot of cap games under my belt, and you playing captain into the thing is rough. See, then the guy then swaps to Black Panther. He doesn't learn, right? And this is not to BM this person. So I'm not saying this person's bad or anything like that. I just understand the game at a higher level than this person does, which is why I'm obviously a higher rank than they are. Now, to be fair, I literally do content on the game, so I understand everyone's kits. I understand kind of their cooldowns. I understand their spacing. I know a lot because I play a lot, and I want to deliver that content to you guys. So to be fair, I'm at an advantage when this player is not. So, so the game is still new, right? You can't expect them to know all this, especially if they don't play as much. So he puts back Black Panther, still not understanding he cannot play the game when he plays his characters, right? I understand that when Black Panther goes in and he decides to run away, there's no reason to pay attention to him anymore, especially because this Black Panther was low. What happens when you're low? Well, when you get low, you need to go find a health pack or your healers need to heal you. Where's his healers? Way over there. So this guy is out the fight for about 5 to 10 seconds. So now the Adam player then switched to Jeff, and I guess he's gonna look for some cheesy KOs. But again, this is typically what happens when people do not understand the fundamentals of the game. They start swapping to random stuff and don't really understand what's the reason to do it. As I said, it doesn't matter what platform you're on, it doesn't matter what rank you're in, this type of stuff happens all the time. Oh, I'm doing bad on DPS, I'm gonna swap to healer. Or someone else on your team is like, swap, get off Black Panther, bro. Get off Spider-Man, bro. Get off. And it doesn't really solve the issue. You're looking at a KDA score and you're thinking, this is why we're losing. And it's not. It could be something totally unrelated, right? Telling the Spider-Man to get off Spider-Man, which is I'm pretty sure what their team did, didn't really solve the issue. Why? Because Spider-Man wasn't the problem. This is why you do not swap when people tell you to swap. This is why you do not pay attention to anyone but yourself. The rule that you need to follow is what is preventing my team from reaching the goal of what they're trying to do. I'm able to create space as a tank. I didn't have any issue, right? So Captain was fine. My healers and my DPS were unable to do their jobs. So as a tank, or as a player in general, not tank, how can I resolve this? Do I need to pick a DPS? Sometimes 3 DPS is the answer. Do I need to pick 3 healers? Sometimes 3 healers is the answer. Sometimes 3 tanks are the answer. Sometimes just simply swapping to a different character is the answer. I'm going to give you guys a brief example for the healers and the DPS players, just so you guys can understand it if you felt like it was too tank focused because of the gameplay. I am having a hard time KOing this team, and I'm playing Scarlet Witch. I need to swap. Why? Because Scarlet Witch does not do a lot of burst damage, and my team has no damage. I need something that will start. I need massive amounts of damage. It's not happening with Scarlet Witch. The only time she does a lot of damage is when she ults. So you would need to think, well, we need way more damage. What character can give us way more damage? Star-Lord is a great example. Farm his ult, and then you can literally wipe an entire team. He also does just a lot of damage if you are right in front of a target. Bucky is another example. Winter Soldier. Punisher is a great example. Like these characters do a lot of damage. And so as a DPS player, you need to swap to that. Let's do it from a healer's example. Okay, well, let's just say the healer that I'm playing right now, we'll do our team. Let's just say our Cloak and Dagger is playing Mantis. And our team is just, our tanks are just, we're getting just KO'd over and over. We're taking so much damage. Well, Mantis isn't a burst heal type of support. Mantis is a heal over time support. She's a sustained support. So If your tank is someone that likes to go in, like Captain America as an example, likes to go in and get bursted and come back to you, you can't heal them up fast enough to do it again. Or if your tanks for some reason don't know how to use cover, you can't heal them fast enough for them to stay alive because they're taking a lot of damage. So you can't play Mantis. It sucks, yeah, I know. But you can't play Mantis because of the simple fact that she does not have a lot of heals to sustain the tanks, whether they're playing well or not. You have to think about it. Well, what characters have better heals? Cloak and Dagger, great burst heal. Adam Warlock, great burst heal. I feel like I'm missing someone. Oh, Luna Snow, great burst heal, right? This is what you're thinking about when you're swapping as a healer. So I hope this helped. Again, it doesn't matter what role you're swapping to or what character you're swapping to, but you need to identify the goal and you need to figure out what your weakness is. Can my tank create space? No, because he's getting really low all the time. Oh, I need a better healer. Maybe I need 3 healers or something like that to make sure this guy stays alive. Can my DPS play the game? No, they keep getting exploded. Oh, maybe I need 3 healers, or maybe I need to swap to DPS myself so we have more DPS characters to play with, and that we can probably brute force our way to a win. Support, can they do their job? No, the support is getting KO'd quite frequently, or there's a lot of walls that are like every time I dive as Hulk or dive as Captain America, you know, there's a lot of walls. So maybe I play Magneto or Strange, which is a little bit more conservative and backed up towards them. So that way they don't have to like try to aim around walls and put themselves in danger. This is what you're thinking about. Again, this is a lot. Don't get me wrong, it's a lot, but I hope it helps. Again, the basics of it all is, can each role do their job? If not, what can I swap to help us reach our goal? You know, is my character able to do their job? If not, what can I swap to help us reach our goal? That's pretty much how you want to think about it. So team oriented or character oriented, okay? If you got any questions, of course, let me know in the comments below. I will gladly help you out and answer them. If you want to become a member to help support the channel, I'm going to be streaming some more. I'm also going to be doing some other member stuff. No, I promised it. Y'all gonna get some goodies. Please consider becoming a member. But thank you guys for watching. And until next time, you know what I always say. Think you guys are doing what? Popping often. Well, often.